All you need to know is that Captain Freedom's alias is Sadiq Friedman, and he is a screenwriter. Over and over, I ask myself why I'm thrown out of the game, given the red card of life. Who is responsible? The supervillain masterminds whom I've thrown into jail repeatedly? The international crime syndicate, Interbad? Traitors within our own government? No, it's upper management. Instead of going to college, I studied with a Korean master to learn several ancient and useless forms of combat. And when I turned 20, with the help of my mother's expert machinations, I joined Gotham Comics. I gave them my heart and soul and my 4 superpowers: flying, lightning-fast reflexes, supernatural strength, and the uncanny ability to predict the weather. People always ask, if you're so good with the weather, why didn't you become a meteorologist? It's a typical reaction, like when you ask really tall people if they play basketball. But not even my understanding of the difference between sleet and freezing rain can prepare me for the treachery I'm about to experience. I'm in New York, teaching inner-city school children about the value of flossing, when I get a call from the accounting department at Gotham Comics. I fly up to their Midtown offices right away. Entering the conference room, I'm immediately suspicious. They have a PowerPoint presentation. First, they remind me that my insurance premiums are too high, but I've put a generation of criminals behind bars. Then they start hurling financial mumbo-jumbo like Zeus's lightning bolts. Sales of your comic book are in decline. The market favors graphic novels about losers. We've posted losses for the last 7 quarters. We can't compete with the indecipherable but adorable manga. But what about the children, I ask? I've taught so many of them valuable life lessons, like how to increase self-esteem by purchasing Captain Freedom products. Ray Hellender, the chief accountant, drops the bomb. McDonald's ditched your Happy Meal toy. I'm stunned by this fast food treason. Who's going to fight evil, I ask them. We've got a group in Bangalore. You don't have to speak English to fight evil. They offer a paltry retirement package, but I'm not going without a fight. I search my mind for an appropriate comeback. Freedom ain't cheap. In my case, it's $4.3 million a year. Hellender brandishes a covered platter that was hidden under the table. Do you know what this is? I admit ignorance. He opens the lid. Tofu. Just a single block. Medium firm, provenance unknown. Perhaps Chinese, perhaps not. There's no doubt he knows soy is my weakness. If I ingest it, I lose all my powers. Quite a miraculous food, tofu. Adopts the flavor in which it's marinated. Fries quickly, high in protein, if you eat it with rice, he cautions. I smile. How's a group of accountants going to force me to eat that? You already have, Captain. A bead of perspiration abandons ship from the dry dock of my forehead. Your non-fat chai latte. This morning at the Hero's commissary. What about it? It was made with soy milk. I try to use one of my powers, but I won't be able to use any of them for the next 72 hours. The froth in my morning beverage had seemed a little lacking in exuberance, but I assume that was the telltale sign of skim milk. A door opens, and in rushes a platoon of super attorneys. I'm surrounded, my powers useless. I stall. You really think you can force me into retirement? He waves a legal document in front of me. You're going to volunteer. It was the right incentive package. Freedom, you have no choice. Desperate, I remind Hellender that a large sell-off of Gotham Comics stock could trigger a panic in the market. The attorneys back off, and we negotiate. I don't get a gold watch, but now I have a golden parachute. According to our agreement, nobody can know that this happened. I volunteer to leave behind the life of fighting crime. They give me 45 minutes to leave the building. I have to clean out my corner office, but leave the laptop. There's no time to grab the Dilbert cartoons from the wall. They take away my secret decoder ring, my autographed copy of the Flash Gordon Hero Handbook, and the keys to the Freedom utility vehicle. When it's time to go, security, some of my best superhero friends, escorts me out of the building. I never even used this office. Gotham put it here for tourists visiting the building. So right now, some hack is clearing out my real office in LA. I'm being simulcanned. I'm angry enough to toss a car across the street. But I'm not warmed up, and that's just begging for a back injury. I pass some guys working in a manhole in the middle of traffic, and I realize that life is not that bad. I've got a massive secret headquarters that's already been paid for. I can travel the world. Tibet, never been there. Heard they have some great mountains. And they're languishing under the evil rule of the Chinese. Maybe I'll free Tibet. When you say that, you sound like a celebrity has-been, embracing fashionable causes like a hip-hop MC grabs his crotch. But I don't know what to do with my life. Being a superhero is the only job I've had since high school. Now I have to do something else? Life has only prepared me for this one thing, to do good, and to break the record for the number of bank robberies foiled. After I leave the Gotham Comics office, Cher, I do know a lot of people in the entertainment business, is kind enough to let me crash at her place, and I remain in New York for a week to do a quick job search. I apply to work for the State Department, but they say I need to know Arabic. Then I apply at the Defense Department, and this time I tell them I know Arabic. They deny me the job. If I know Arabic, I must be a terrorist. Mom calls and leaves an epic message to tell me she's sorry I resigned, she's sure it's somehow my own fault, and she got me an interview with Occidental Comics. But I can't work with the OC. Their production values are low. Their books aren't bound well. Famous artists won't go near them. I might as well sign up for a newspaper cartoon strip. After 15 years on the side of good, maybe it's time I bat for the other team. I have plenty of contacts, and how hard can it be to become a supervillain? But I can't go evil. It would really disappoint the kids. Plus, I'd be at risk of losing my $4 million settlement. The story that I've left Gotham gets out, and I schedule a press conference to discuss my future. The press is unkind. They interrupt and ask leading questions. Not a single person asked for my autograph. I'll never do that again, I say to nobody in particular after I remove my microphone. Sure you will, says a chipper voice. It's Skip Goodwin, the plucky reporter with the boyish charm, who I'm certain is somehow responsible for my downfall. You won't have a choice, he grins, if you want to stay in the public eye. And I know you do. Because of national security, the media are barred from covering heroes under contract unfavorably. But now it's open season. No matter how discreet I try to be, the paparazzi are there, taking humiliating photos of me falling down drunk in public, or dancing on tables at the local bar. It's like they've singled me out because I'm famous. I'm ready to fly home to LA, but something stops me. Evil is still lurking. And there are several superheroes in the New York area who owe me money, or have borrowed CDs I'd really like to get back. My sources tell me that the villainous Wayne of Mass Destruction has engineered the Ronald Ray gun, a mind control device that could enslave New York. I must respond even if I'm sans a Happy Meal contract. Using Google, I quickly find Wayne's lab. He's surprised to see me. Captain Freedom, he snarls. I thought you'd retired. He's pointing the ray gun at me. I am, but I still hate evil. Surrender the weapon. I give him the calm, trusting look of a friend who would never put him back in jail. Wayne throws down a smoke pellet. By the time the air clears, and I get Visine in my eyes, he and the weapon are gone. I rush outside to see he's high in the air. I will never understand why criminals are allowed to buy jetpacks. Jetpacks were legalized in 1986 after heavy lobbying by the National Rocket Association. I launch into the sky and catch up with him. You can't fight me, he sneers. You don't have insurance anymore. I've got Cobra. He hurls his explosives at me, but I dodge them with ease. I've got a heat-seeking missile, Freedom, straight from my friends in North Korea. You'll never escape. Little does he know. We enter a region of high barometric pressure, which stalls his jetpack engine. WMD is tilted off balance, and crack! I knock him unconscious. I pry the ray gun from his clutches. It will be a great addition to my exotic weapons collection. Spectators cheer as we land, and for once I've saved the city without destroying real estate. I may be retired, but the Captain Freedom Happy Meal will return. Right? Thank you.